Hi, Gauravi. Welcome to the show. What motivated you to become a sports person and why swimming?
I think I started swimming at a really young age. My mom wanted me to learn swimming just as a basic life sport. So I started swimming at a early age of 3 or 4 years old. And then I continued with competitive swimming through middle school. And Udaipur being the city of lakes, I was put into open water swimming just for fun, sometimes as a form of training to substitute my pool swimming. And when I actually started swimming in the lakes, I realized how much I loved swimming in the open water, even more than competitive swimming. And that is how I got into an endurance sport.
That's amazing. So, well, on a good day to swim the English Channel is really hard. And when the weather is not right, it can be close to impossible. So, why did you take up this challenge at such a young age?
I decided I wanted to swim the English Channel when I was 12 years old. I did my first long open water swim when I was 13, I think. And that time, I wasn't even sure what the English Channel was. I just heard all the endurance swimmers talking about something that was like the Mount Everest of swimming. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to do something big and if I love open water swimming so much, it might as well be the Mount Everest. Why not? And so I decided that English Channel is going to be the one that I wanted to conquer.
So, what were the challenges you faced in your journey?
I think I can think of challenges that I faced in terms of access to resources and as an athlete myself. First of all, I think this is something that a lot of athletes face in India. It could be access to a nutritionist or access to all-weather pools or something like good coaches who are very trained for your own sport, especially for an endurance sport like long distance swimming. And other obstacles were, when I talk about English Channel specifically, it's very cold. Even during the summers, I had to swim in 15 or 16 degree water. So as a really thin, tiny 14-year-old, I had to really train my body to be able to stand that cold. So my mom would literally fill up a pool with ice in it just so I was used to that cold water. So training in cold, being able to control your diet, having more endurance than speed, which is something common within competitive swimmers, was also something that I had to focus on. And just being able to be in the water and swimming for long number of hours. Sometimes it was 6 hours, sometimes it was 8, sometimes my training would go as long as 10 hours. And to be able to manage it with swimming being a full-time student was probably also one of the main challenges I faced.
That's amazing. I know it can be freezing cold, and I believe you trained in the Lake Pichola in Udaipur in winter, where the waters can be freezing. I mean, how was that? How easy was that? Must have been so hard.
Yes, I remember when we used to leave the house at 6 a.m. in the winters in Udaipur, it still used to be dark. And for the first few times, it was so scary for me as a kid because I had to jump into the lake when I couldn't even see where the water was. But sometimes I would also see the most beautiful sunrise and I would be blown away by it. I think I'm a very big nature person. I enjoy sunsets and sunrises, and I would say sometimes that kept me going. But also at the same time, because it was so cold, there would be hours where I could just not feel my toes and legs when I would come out of the water. They would literally be blue and I would have to sit in front of the heater for hours just to be able to feel my limbs again. So that was definitely tricky, but I think it worked out.
I'm sure it's far more than tricky, but gosh, well done to you, honestly. So who is your sporting hero? And I mean, do you have any person your inspiration?
My inspiration at the end of the day will always be my mother. And I have thought about this a lot. There are definitely athletes that I very much am inspired by and that I look forward to seeing even when they're swimming like if I talk about competitive swimming, I know Carrie Ledecky is one of the fastest long distance swimmers in terms of competitive swimming, and I really look up to her. But at the end of the day, my inspiration will always be Mama.
Oh, that's lovely. She's going to be so happy, and they're all so proud of you. It's amazing. So in India, you have very few takers who take up specialized forms of training at the cost of their education. What changes do you think have already been made, and what do you think should be done so that more people take to it?
I feel like one of the most important things in this aspect is having the respect for your sport and the awareness to be healthy. I feel like as more and more people realize how important it is to be healthy and to be passionate towards the sport, I can definitely see more people who've taken to the sport of endurance swimming in the last few years. And I think that has all changed because people realize how important it is for them to invest in their own bodies and something that sustains them except for their professional lives or their jobs. So that is one of the most important things. Apart from that, I also think that access to resources makes a very big difference. As people have more knowledge of the sports that they can get into, they will be able to take up something and find something that they're actually passionate about. So that also makes a really big difference.
Well, you've spoken a lot. You have mentioned your mom. What is the role your parents played in your success?
I feel like they have the biggest role to play, whether it's my mom waking up at 5 a.m. just so she can drive me to the pool at 5:20, or if she's going to run with me, or if she's going to help with me with my homework, because I'm literally falling asleep after I come back from a 6-hour long workout. I think she's been my pillar of support. And my dad, who's been like standing with me or walking with me while I'm swimming for a long number of hours. And even apart from that, just having the freedom to pursue what I actually love is, I think, almost like I don't know the right word for it, but it feels almost like a fortunate opportunity that not everyone gets. And for that, I'm really grateful. And even my grandparents as a whole, they've been so supportive mentally, emotionally, and that really makes me feel like I have the strength to do anything, which sometimes in the water counts for a lot.
Amazing. So how do you think you can use this success and your experience to, inspire the youth, especially the young girls in India today?
I always say that if I can do it, I think anyone can do it. And I say that because I didn't grow up with a lot. I didn't have access to the fanciest of equipments or the best of coaches, but I figured a way out. And I think that is what helps me convince other people that they can do it too. Because if you actually love something and you want to put in your hard work into it, I know that your dreams can come true. And that's what I always tell them. So I think my way of giving back would be to be able to convince a few more people to pursue their dreams.
Well, congratulations on all your achievements. It's just such a proud moment for all of us to know what all you've done, and your parents must be so proud. And I just hope your story reaches out to so many people so that it's an inspiration by itself. Thank you.
Thank you so much again. Thank you for having me.